combat during the Iran War was flown back to the United States Monday, where a U.S. Army carry team transferred the remains from a military plane during a dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Dan Kane and others attended the dignified transfer and saluted as the U.S. Army carry team moved Sergeant Benjamin N. Pennington's remains from the plane to a waiting vehicle. Army Sergeant Benjamin N. Pennington of Glendale died Sunday after being wounded during a March 1 attack on the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. Pennington joined the Army straight out of high school. He was assigned to the 1st Space Battalion, 1st Space Brigade of the U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command based at Fort Carson, Colorado. The unit's mission focused on missile warning, GPS, and long-haul satellite communications according to their website. In a statement posted on social media, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear called Pennington a hero who sacrificed everything serving our country. Among Pennington's awards and decorations were the Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Army Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal and the Army Service Ribbon. Pennington graduated in 2017 from Central Hardin High School, where he was enrolled in the Automotive Technology pathway, District Spokesman John Wright told the Associated Press. Pennington will be posthumously promoted to Staff Sergeant, the Pentagon said. Officials previously announced 6 Army reservists were killed in Kuwait when an Iranian drone struck an operation center at a civilian port. President Donald Trump on Saturday had joined grieving families at Dover Air Force Base at the dignified transfer for those 6 U.S. soldiers. Mojtaba Khamenei, a son of Iran's late supreme leader, has been named his successor. According to Associated Press, he had long been considered a contender, even before an Israeli strike killed his father at the start of the war. He had never been elected or appointed to a government position. U.S. President Donald Trump had called the possible selection of the younger Khamenei unacceptable to succeed his father. There was no immediate White House comment after the announcement by Iran state TV shortly after midnight Monday. 2 U.S. officials say the State Department will order non-essential personnel and families of all staff to leave Saudi Arabia as Iran escalates its retaliation for U.S.-Israel military operations.
Iran has a new supreme leader. It's Mojtaba Khamenei, a son of the slain supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, whose death on February 28th in an Israeli airstrike kicked off the Israeli-American war that has spread across the wider Middle East. Now, Mojtaba Khamenei is believed to be 56 years old and thought to be more hardline than his father, and he comes into power as Iran's theocracy faces perhaps its greatest challenge yet, this ongoing war that has seen sites across Iran destroyed, as well as Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard, its Air Force and Army targeted and just pounding airstrikes. Now, so far, we haven't heard from Mojtaba Khamenei himself. It's expected that at some point he'll provide a pre-recorded statement to people of Iran trying to describe what his plans are. But what we've seen from the Guard, which has long had ties to Khamenei, is just these pounding attacks that have spread across to hit oil infrastructure as well as water desalination plants. And that is the lifeblood of the Gulf Arab states, and we're starting to hear more criticism from them. Saudi Arabia this morning issued a very stinging statement warning that Iran would be the, quote, biggest loser if it continued these attacks. So Khamenei comes into power likely already targeted by Israel and possibly facing the greatest challenge that his country's theocracy has ever seen. It remains unclear just what he'll do, and it remains unclear just what will come next.
اینم برای همون پیش ساخته بودم 10 سال پیش. دست خدا عیان شد، خامنه‌ای جوان شد. الله